Right. So how many of you executed first program? Raise your hands. Right. Very good. Who completed? Uh, so how many of you done this assignment? Raise your hands. Anybody? Right. Very good. So similar flavor only. Uh, Reading and displaying product details. Anyway, let me make small review on Saturday class for 5 minutes. So this is the flow I drawn on Saturday, the first program flow anyway for you. Right. HTTP colon localhost colon 8082 slash application servlet one. That is application name. So whenever the application is deployed, the first object created automatically known as a servlet context object. The servlet context object is loaded with server information, After application loading has been completed, within the application, one file is executed automatically known as web.xml. The control will go to web.xml. Through web.xml, it identifies one input.html or home page, whatever the home page you decided for your application, that home page. Input.html will come. Through input.html, we are submitting one username and mail ID. Whenever you submit the data must be sent to one servlet program. The data must be sent to one servlet program. So how that servlet program is identified means based on one URL pattern known as a DIS. This URL pattern is user defined. We only will give one small name. We call it as URL pattern. This URL pattern information and the data totally encapsulated into protocol. Encapsulated means binded to protocol. The protocol is trying to transfer the data to one servlet program. In the process of transferring the data to servlet program, it asks the execution controls to identify the servlet program based on URL pattern. Then this DIS, and here in the servlet program you written at the rate of web servlet, one annotation you written. The annotation is holding one servlet URL pattern. This URL pattern and that URL pattern must be matched. Once it is matched, then the servlet program loaded. When the servlet program loaded, automatically one object is created known as a servlet config object is created. Here context, here config. Once the servlet config object creation has been completed, then the servlet program is instantiated automatically. Means the servlet program object created automatically. Object created automatically. Once the object creation has been completed, your execution controls will identify three life cycle methods. One is init, one is doPost, one is destroy. So three methods are identified and these three methods are executed automatically in the same order. First init method executed. In the init method, nothing is available. Moreover, we not written init method. Init method taken from the parent with empty body. So nothing is available. Do post method execution started. Why you written do post method, sir? Means here post request is coming. You have to take do post. If you don't write do post, if you don't want to write a do post, you must write service method. Answer will come. Suppose if you write do get method, error will come. For you, this mismatch will come. This request and method mismatch will come. While do post method execution started, two objects are created. HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response. two objects are created here. Two objects are created automatically. When the servlet request object created here, whatever the data you submitted, the data is available in the request object. The data is loaded and available in the request object. To collect the data from the request object, we are using one method known as get parameter. I given a notes on get parameter to get the data. Then the response object is going to hold the data, which is going to be sent as an output. There's the information about response. After this one, we are going to create one object known as print writer. Whenever you want to create object for print writer, we are using a method known as get writer method. So one get writer method available here is creating object for print writer. Print writer is a class from your java.io package. Java.io package. One specialty is here, the print writer object will hold address of your response so that whatever the methods you run from here, the methods will run on this object. Set content type, the meaning is you have to say what kind of data you're going to send as an output. You have to specify it. To specify the type of data you are sending as output, we call it as set content type. That's the point. Okay, right. In the diagram, how many objects total created? What is the first object created here now? Servlet context. What is the second object? Servlet config. What is the third object now? You must say servlet object. What is the third object now? Servlet object. What is the fourth one now? Servlet request. What is the fifth one now? Servlet response. What is the sixth one now? Print writer. So remember, okay, right. This is your first program. Everybody should run this program and related to whatever the assignment I written, I must do it and finish off it. Okay, right. Today's class is make it. Given the keyboard not connected. Right. Test date is 22nd. Star mark IMP request dispatcher. Request dispatcher. Request dispatcher. Request request dispatcher is an interface from Jakarta dot servlet package and which is used to perform which is used to perform servlet communications as follows. Servlet communications as follows. Whatever the servlet program you are typing, whatever the servlet program you are typing, whatever the servlet program, simply you can call it as servlet. The servlet will communicate with one more servlet. Servlet will communicate with other servlets. Servlet will communicate with HTML. Communicate with HTML. Servlet will communicate with JSP. Communicate with JSP. So servlet can communicate with another servlet in the same project. Servlet can communicate with one HTML file. Servlet can communicate with JSP. That only. Request dispatcher is an interface Cha- from Jakarta.servlet package and which is used to perform servlet communications as follows. Servlet to servlet communication, servlet to HTML communication, servlet to JSP communication. Servlet to servlet communication, servlet HTML communication, servlet JSP communication. Sir, servlet to servlet, what communication? It is giving a, taking a, something it has to do. It has to give something to another servlet or it has to take something from another servlet. Servlet to HTML, what communication? Giving or taking. The same way, giving or taking. So servlet communications categorized into two types. These are, it is doing communication. What type of communication means two types. It can do forward communication. It can do include communication. Servlet can do with a servlet forward. Servlet can do with a servlet include. Make it. Servlet communications are categorized into two types. SERVLET, servlet communications. Communications are categorized into two types. Categorized into two types. One, forward communication, forward communication, include communication, forward communication and include communication. Two types will be there. Forward or include. So forward communication, forward communication. Like this. Look here, 2 minutes. Suppose here one servlet is there. Before that, web browser will be there. One web browser. This is servlet program 1. servlet program 1, servlet program 2, servlet program 2. From this web browser, servlet program 1 will take the request and forwards the request to servlet 2. That's called forward. Water, water. Forward to servlet program 1 forwards the request to servlet 2 forward. Method is forward only. This method is available from request dispatcher. Name only says no request dispatcher. Dispatching means sending. Dispatcher. Dispatch means sending. Request dispatch. Request sending. I am sending request to another servlet by using one method known as forward. Now this second servlet program will give the response. Will give the response. From here, response will come. So who is taking the request means servlet 1. Who is giving the response means servlet 2. So in this process, servlet 2, servlet 2 can be replaced with in forward communication. You can replace with HTML or you can replace with JSP. So same servlet 2 response will come. If not, HTML response will come. If not, JSP response will come. This diagrammatical form, we call it as forward communication, you can say. Forward communication, you can say. Forward communication process. Right. Now write the point, statement, you write it once. In forward communication process, servlet program 1 will take the request and forwards the request to second servlet. In forward communication process, servlet program will take the request and forwards the request to second servlet. Second servlet means servlet program 2 you write better. If you written second servlet, no problem. Servlet program 2. In this process, servlet program 2 will provide the response. Will provide the response. In forward communication process, servlet program 1 will take the request and forwards the request to servlet program 2. In this process, servlet program 2 will provide the response. So servlet program 2, servlet in bracket, servlet program 2 can be replaced by HTML or JSP. Servlet program 2 can be replaced by HTML or JSP. HTML or JSP. So diagram. So this is the diagram you have to draw. Forward communication. Right. Sir, here one method we written now, sir. This method available from where? This method. Look here. This method is available from request dispatcher. Right. So after the diagram, make it. We use forward method. Forward method from request dispatcher to perform forward communication process. Forward communication process. We use forward method from request dispatcher to perform forward communication process. Method signature. Method signature. See there. I am opening request dispatcher. Java P Jakarta dot servlet dot request dispatcher. Request dispatcher is one interface. Some variables are there. Two methods are there. One is forward, one is include. Two methods. Right. Method signature. So forward method is passed with two parameters. One is request, one is response. Right. Opposite to forward, we had include. Include communication process. Include communication process. So like this diagram first. Include communication. So in the diagrammatic here, sir, web browser common anyway. Web browser. So servlet one. Servlet program one. Servlet program two. Some request. Look here. Servlet program one will take the request. Servlet program one only will generate the response. Will generate the response. So response is coming out of your servlet program one only. But servlet program one will ask servlet program two. Do you want to perform include communication with my response? Include communication with my response. The meaning, whatever your response is there, you give to me. I will join it and send it. I'll join it and send it. So command response will come out. Here, servlet one response is included with the response of servlet program two. That's the point. Response is given by the servlet program one only. In this process also, you can have HTML, you can have HTML, you can have JSP. You can have HTML and you can have JSP. So in the place of servlet program 2, you can have HTML or JSP. All have understood this point, right? Now, the same statement, I'll make it now. In include communication process, in include communication process, in include communication process, servlet program, servlet program 1 will take the request, and generate the response. In include communication process, servlet program 1 will take the request and generate the response. But servlet program 1, response is included with the response of servlet program 2. Response of servlet program 2. In include communication process, servlet program 1 will take the request and generate the response. But servlet program 1 response is included with the response of servlet program 2. Servlet program 2 can be replaced with HTML or JSP. All of understood my intention here, all of you, right? Servlet program 1 will generate the response, but the response includes with the servlet 2. If he is not understanding what you are speaking, draw the diagram and show. This diagram is nothing but definition only. If you say orally, if you cannot understand, take one paper and write and show what is included. Love you. Draw the diagram. Right. Okay. So what is the method here now? Include method here. So diagram followed by we use we use include method from request dispatcher. We use include method from request dispatcher to perform include communication process. Include communication process. We use include method from request dispatcher to perform include communication process. Method signature. Offline people, any problems are there, go to the lab for 2 3 days. You are running the program and leave it. If anybody problems facing, you go to the lab directly, and online students also. I given a lab links in your Google Classroom. I asked them to post it. Whether they posted or not, I not yet cross checked. Online lab support is there for 2 3 days. Problems will be there for you. No, sir, I am running means happy. No headache. Because now application is increasing now. Right. See there. Sir, request dispatcher finally providing two methods. One is forward, one is include. Using forward method, we can do forward communication. Using include method, we can do include communication. What is forward, what is include, diagram is there. Sir, if I want to use these methods forward and include, I must create object for request dispatcher. I must create. Request dispatcher is an interface anyway. If I want to create object for one interface, one method will be there in your library, you know. So what is that method? Get request dispatcher. One method is there from your servlet request. servlet servlet request. Can you see? Get request dispatcher. Return type is what now? Request dispatcher. And the parameter is string. You don't write it. Right. Make it. Note. We use get request dispatcher method from servlet request. We use get request dispatcher method from servlet request to create implementation object for request dispatcher interface. Method signature. Right. Now look here. So what is the syntax here now? Syntax, see there. Whenever I want to call this get request dispatcher method, this request dispatcher method belongs to servlet request. What is the object name we used for servlet request in the above program? REQ. Yes or no? Na? That object name is REQ dot get request dispatcher. What is the parameter here now? String as parameter, double quotes string. What is the return type of this method now? This method is returning request dispatcher object RD. I am writing. Sir, here in double quotes, what you are sending now? Look here. Sir, if I want to communicate with one servlet, if I want to communicate with a servlet, there one servlet URL pattern will be there. Servlets are identified based on URL patterns. So there some URL pattern will be there. I am going to use that URL pattern. Means communicate with one servlet. That servlet URL pattern name I'll give here. I'll give that servlet URL pattern name to you. If you want to communicate with HTML file name, I'll give it. If you want to communicate with JSP file name, I'll give it. Means while I am creating object for request dispatcher, there I am going to pass URL pattern or HTML or JSP like this. The object form looks like this. Suppose this line is executed. Suppose this line is executed. REQ dot get request dispatcher method creates one object for request dispatcher. Create object for request dispatcher. While object creation, whatever the information I given here, this information is binded here. If you given one URL pattern will be loaded here. URL pattern. URL pattern. Loaded with HTML. Anyone, JSP or HTML, right? Okay. Now, whatever the information I given, I want to communicate with one servlet program running on XYZ. Now I'll give a request dispatcher XYZ. Means what? This servlet will send a control to XYZ. That's the meaning actually. Suppose HTML is there, you can give HTML file name. So two methods are there, no? Here two methods will get the memory. One is forward method, one is include method. One method is forward, one method is include. So forward method will come and include method will. So this is one object. Suppose while request dispatcher method execution, one object created for request dispatcher information binded here. Now with this servlet, I want to do forward means I'll say rd dot forward. If I want to say include means I'll say rd dot include. Any one method I'll run. If I want to do forward communication, I'll run a forward method. If I want to do include communication, I'll run include method. That only. But information is available in the object. Right. Here, rd dot forward, req and res as parameter. Rd dot forward, sorry, Rd dot include, req and res. So this is for forward communication. This is for include communication. Followed by diagram. This is the notes about total request dispatcher. One concept that is. Okay. All of you written, right? Draw this diagram also once. Right. All of you understood this diagram? Says or no to me? Right. So this is the notes actually. Based on this, I must write my second program. I must write. Okay, right. Right. Okay. So now I must write my second program, but I'll write by tomorrow to you because uh, time it takes 40 to 50 minutes. It takes second program because I must explain it. Now the leveling. Sometimes I'll write code for 3 days. Means program increases day by day. The pattern is like this. Up to now, run the program and come. Assignment is similar. You take anyone. If you want anybody completed, you take one more assignment. I completed means do this assignment and come. Reading and printing only. Nothing is there here. So like this process, practical process like this. Tomorrow, 3 servlets will come. I'll write 3 servlets. Based on that user choice, the control will go to one servlet. Like this, I'll write one pattern. I'll write 3 servlets, one HTML, one XML. I'll write. But while I'm writing, I must draw the diagram and write it. Unless the student will not understand, because after now you are following only one program. You'll follow JDBC, Core Java. One program only will be there. After now, only one program is there. Servlet also. But tomorrow, 3 servlets, one HTML, one XML will come. So based on that, tomorrow assignment also will come. After that, tomorrow's that practical completed. Now, database will come inside. Already, who practiced your assignment on Saturday, Sunday? Already data is coming to request object, and from request object, you are displaying. Already data is coming to request object. No, sir. I'll keep the data in the database table. That only no next one. So we are adding database table on the day after tomorrow. We are adding. But to bring the database component, much nodes will be given and application size will be increased. Means suddenly 4, 5 servlets will come, DAOs will come, beans will come, attributes will come, HTML file 2 or 3 will be increased like this. Third application level will be very high. Understood? So student has to open the book and do on the same day. If you postpone the practical in advanced Java, your time will be wasted. Moreover, advanced Java is a bridge course only. I'm giving awareness and sending for spring. Immediately I'll send it. Without any delay, I'll send it. Understood? Because of time only, our batch is running 4, 5 sessions back. We are running anyway. But in time only, I'll send there. My intention. So next application, anyway, don't miss that application. I'm writing 3 servlets, one HTML, one XML. After that, we are communicating with the databases. So this week is a crucial week for practical for us. So every day is important only. Next week, session tracks will come. Right. Next coming week, servlet will be ended. That one will be there. Just from here, 3 weeks course it is. So first week, all communications, DAOs will come. Second week, this is first week practical we say. So second week, we have all session tracks will come. And next coming week, we conclude servlet. That's all. Nothing will be there. If you drag it also, that all will be there. Suppose if I give the assignment, what will be there? Read print only, no? Yes or no? So HTML, CSS, I'm not asking you to add now only, because if you make a mistake in HTML, the program will not run. So you don't know where the problem will come. So first you have to run my program. Make it here. Write a program. If not, construct servlet application. Construct servlet application to read and display display total student details. Total student details. So your details are what now? Roll number will be there, name will be there, branch will be there, address will be there. No, don't do address anyway. Roll number, name, branch. Okay, right. You take 6 subject marks. 6 subject marks or some other subject marks, whatever it may be. Always I'll do this program in core Java to you. Total marks will be there. Total marks not there. 6 subject marks. This is read value, no? Yes or no? Na? So whenever we say submit, what is the output should come? Sir, output should be roll number, name, branch. Don't display 6 subject marks, display total marks, display percentage. Already JDBC program is there, percentage and result. But your design HTML form and display it. 6 subject marks, you don't display it, just to keep it, that's all. Don't store anywhere, just calculate and leave it. Somewhere I'll give the way how to see that. So try this and come. If application is running, who executed the 2 applications correctly? Now you start adding that HTML, CSS, that all whatever you want to add some color and keep it. Add the color and running. If it is running, okay. Add the color again and run it. Running, okay. If it is not running, again remove that HTML and you do once. If it is running, there is a problem in HTML. Properly you have to code it. Like this, you have to test it. Okay. Tomorrow I'll come bit early anyway. Thank you very much for today. So online students, take the support of online lab support. Hope the links are available in the Google Classroom for you who are facing a major problem and who are not understanding. Take the support of online lab supports. The links are available in your Google Classroom.
ప్రొడక్ట్ డీటెయిల్స్ డిస్ప్లే చేసేటప్పుడు నల్లాలి
పేర్లు తప్పించు HTML ఉన్న నేమ్స్ సబ్లైట్ లో ఉండబడే నేమ్స్ ఇక్కడ తీసుకోండి